Resilience was never the goal. Resilience is what we did to survive colonization. Reclamation is what we're building intentionally thereafter. Resilience was never the goal. Never. We got it wrong, y'all. We got it wrong. When I would hear the word resilience buzzing over the years, I delved into the word, I peeled back the layers of the word, and it just didn't sit right. So I changed it up. I would say cultural resilience or communal resilience or restorative resilience. And it still didn't land right. Because the truth was, that wasn't the word I was looking for. I thought about my grandfather, my papa. We called him Papa. Papa was the only person that maintained his indigenous language. And it allowed him to talk with his grandmother, whom he loved so much. And I remember him saying, what they're not going to do is take this away from me. They're not going to take away how I connect and how I commune with my community and with those that I love. Because the language allowed him to navigate the nuances, the intricacy of connection and community in a way that only knowing the language could. And so as I was exploring resilience, I came back to that word reclamation. In the indigenous tradition, when they talk about reclamation, they're talking about 4 key points. And I'm going to look down my notes because I want to make sure I get them right. One is called resurgence, reviving the way of living that had been tried to be suppressed or erased. The other one is restoring, telling the narrative of one's culture, of one's history, and the way that's true. Not in the way that society wants it, not in the way that makes other people comfortable, but telling the essence and the soul of one's own story about where we come from, about who we are, about whose we are. Recentering is the other part. Recentering and reconnecting to our values, to our community, to our land, rather than the systems that try to exploit us. And then the other one is returning agency back to the people themselves. So in the indigenous heritage, reclamation is the reclaiming of the land. It is the reclaiming of the ceremony. It is the reclaiming of the people. It is the reclaiming of the wisdom. It is not a single act. It is a collective act in stating and saying that we are coming back to ourselves. That what was once attempted to be erased or suppressed will no longer be. And like my papa, we are not going to allow anyone to take what is ours, what is part of our heritage, and decide it no longer exists. When you look across the African diaspora, you see that same power of reclamation, the retrieving, the restoring, the remembering of what was attempted to be disrupted. I love the Sankofa, the bird with the feet forward and the head back, which means simply go back and get it. Go back and retrieve the knowledge, the wisdom, the history, that in order for us to go forward, we must go back and reclaim what was lost. Reclamation. And then we can look at authors from James Baldwin and Toni Morrison and Bell Hooks. They all talk about the reclamation. And so yes, y'all, resilience was never the goal. I'll say it again. Resilience is what we did to survive colonization. Reclamation is what we're building intentionally thereafter. And when I think about the impossible conditions, the impossible circumstances that our ancestors have thrived on and thrived through so that we can be here, yes, I'm talking about reclamation. Reclaiming our language, reclaiming our culture, reclaiming our time, reclaiming our body, reclaiming our history, reclaiming our essence, reclaiming all of those things. And it is not a single act. Reclamation is a collective force of power. Together we will do this, not by oneself. That's the narrative of a different culture. This culture says, as a community, together, we will go forward as one. It is ours to collect right here and right now. It is yours for the reclamation. It is yours for the reclaim.